Hi, welcome to Koko'S World, where we dive deep into knocking life the F out. I'm your host, Carlisha Stokes. Hey guys, welcome to another season of Koko'S World. I am so excited to be starting season 2 of my very own podcast. I will say that I promise for season 2, it will be more about my world and those that are very dear and near in my world. I just want to first off, before kicking off the new year, I want to just expand my gratitude for everyone that listened, that subscribed for season 1, that, held me accountable, checked in with me, and did all of the things that I genuinely feel was needed to be done to be great. So, as we say all that, welcome to season 2. Your girl is back. We're so excited to expose what's to come for this season. I have a ton of great things, great topics that I cannot wait for us to indulge in, I guess. Instead of focusing on that, I just want to say Happy New Year. It is 2025, and I cannot believe we have finally made it. And I say finally as if I did not enjoy 2024, but I'm going to be honest. 2025 was probably not 2025, sorry. 2024 was probably the best year yet that I have lived. And I honestly want to just stick there for a second and share some of the most monumental memories that I will forever hold within 2025. I mean, I keep saying 2025, 2024. Sorry, guys. First, I want to say that 2024 was a year full of discovery, self-discovery, family discovery, parental discovery, while also dealing with a little bit of grief and solidarity. For myself, I say discovery because we had a lot of ups and downs. Let me just say, it was our first year being married, my first year being married as a very headstrong female who has been in a relationship for 10 years. Accepting that my hometown was no longer serving me. 2025, we are living in a new city. So that has also come with some grief of accepting, that I'm no longer going to be up the street from my family or within 40 minutes of a drive to family functions. So that has had its share of exciting moments, but also grief. Traveling was a time for us for adventure, but also discovery. Once again, we traveled to a ton of our main cities that we really had manifested that we wanted to visit, while also discovering whether or not we were going to make these places our home. I can't wait for you all to see the episode with my wife, because we are going to talk about that journey of traveling and, trying to decide which city we were actually going to land in come the new year. So that is something to look forward to. And then also discovering that loyalty was sometimes something that I often delivered to people, but wasn't necessarily received from the people that I was loyal to. And that has landed me to be very secure in being alone. Like, I am genuinely at peace with knowing that sometimes navigating things within yourself is better than talking it out or even talking to people about it. Because if you realize that, like, loyalty and the sacredness of, being able to confide in someone and then it being brought back up isn't available or isn't there, then you realize, like, hey, you can genuinely work through this through God and yourself and the strength within, and continue pushing forward. As I shared, 2024 has been absolutely amazing for us. It's probably been my favorite year thus far, but it also has come with its ups and downs. But obviously, the focus for this episode is not to just sit in the mode of 2024. The goal for this episode for me is to share how I plan to navigate year 2025, but also how I even was able to navigate year 2024 and the years prior with all of my, I'm not going to say excellent, but my tips of organizational skills and navigating goal setting and accomplishing those goals. My goals with this episode is to share with you how I organize, lay out my goals, and how I accomplish them, even through all of the chaos. Because if you don't know me by now, you should know my life is a constant unknown. And I actually think it's great because it falls in line with my air sign, or my zodiac sign. I'm an Aquarius, and a lot of people say that we're very airy. We like to go with the flow, very outgoing, but also I'm low key a control freak, and I also kind of need a plan. But even if that plan does not stick, I can maneuver things around the plan to help it stick. So let's go ahead and dive into some of the things that has helped me goal set. So in the midst of chaos, I will say I have really tuned in on making sure that the people that the way that I want my life to turn out, I have mentors for every angle that I'm heading in. I have a financial literate mentor. I have my 9 to 5 job that I do every day. I have a mentor in that. I also have a mentor in my previous career who will probably be a lifelong mentor because we don't just talk about career stuff. I have my manager and also my mentor for my social media platforms, a mentor. They are right at like 5 million plus followers, a very high net worth. I genuinely try to place myself in rooms and also around people and my network of people to genuinely be the people that I see myself becoming. That is very important. But it's also important for me to say about my mentors because I obviously have been in rooms and have sat at dinner tables with a ton of millionaires, and I would say 2 billionaires now, where they have shared very similar key things to the secret towards having the life that you genuinely desire and genuinely want, besides manifestation and prayer. They always say self-discipline will either make you or break you. It depends on what you allow to determine what makes you. And a lot of people can take that in so many ways, but I personally see self-discipline as a way where no matter what, like, you know, your core values, you know exactly the goals, the mission, the passion behind your why. So you're going to be self-disciplined to possibly say no, possibly tell yourself no. Hey, I know that you're wanting abs right now. That's the goal. We cannot order crumble Monday. I know that you would love to see your friends, but that's not the financial goal right now. So unfortunately, you're going to have to say no unless it's a box wine night at home watching Netflix. Like, genuinely making sure that you stay grounded in what the things that you value and the morals that you have set for yourself to accomplish. So some true examples for me. I will say high school. I'll give the comparison of high school and college, and then I'll give you a real life scenario of modern day. So high school, of course, you have your parents, you're living at home. If you don't feel like doing your homework, your parents may, say like, hey, are you done with your homework? But the moment that your report card comes in, your parents are going to know whether or not you passed or failed a test and whether or not you are doing your homework or not. In college, you don't have that. In college, like, you can not go to class. You can pretty much do whatever you want to do. So you have to design self-discipline for yourself of laying out, okay, I have this class at this time, this test at this day. This is how I'm going to study for this. This is what I have to do. When I was in college, I worked 2 part-time jobs. I was a full-time cheerleader all through college, and I was a full-time student. And my major was computer science, meaning that I did computer software engineering and also computer software programming and cybersecurity. So anyone that understands that realm of world, you also understand is a lot of rigorous math and science. I took 2 levels of physics, 3 levels of calculus, and 3 levels of trigonometry. So I had to instill a lot of understanding and compartmentalizing. I never can say that word right, so I've been trying to practice. But I had a lot of times where I had to break out windows, literally windows of, okay, I'm going to nap here because I know I have workouts at this time, and then I have to go to work after workouts, and then I have practice at 7 and I get off at 5:30. So, and it's a 40-minute drive, so I'm going to eat on the way there. And I also had to stay fit, so I packed a lot of my meals and I meal prepped. So that also required a lot of energy. And then literally we would go out on either Thursday nights or Friday nights, and it was 2 weekends out of the month, because obviously I had priorities, I needed self-discipline, and it worked with my schedule. Inside 10 years later, I am a fitness coach. I have a couple of companies. I am running social media on top of, I work a 9 to 5 right now. I have a family. The list goes on. And a lot of people say, like, oh, you'll prioritize what you want to prioritize. That is so true. But also sometimes prioritizing yourself is not a bad thing. Sometimes what others may want you to bend or make a priority is also not feeding positivity into the things that you're having to be self-disciplined about, such as if you are working on a fitness journey or focusing on trying not to drink anymore or party like that, going out with your friends for a night out, or going out with family members, whoever, and you know that there's going to be alcohol, sometimes saying, okay, I have to be self-disciplined in this scenario, and I know that I'm not at a place where I can say, okay, once the drinks start pouring, I'm still going to say no, and you feel like you're going to fall into that trap or fall, backslide, then of course saying no is something that it suits you. So those are just a couple examples for me when it comes to self-discipline. But I just want to say, for 2025, give some tips on how to set goals and how to be successful in manifesting the life that you genuinely desire. I have made these few changes, and it's literally 5 steps. These 5 steps may seem as if they are extremely hard to accomplish, and I can promise you they are not. Like, once you get in the hang of things, it is very easy, very self-explanatory, and it usually takes me 14 days. I usually use the last 14 days of the month. I know that Christmas is in there, and people are like, oh my gosh, what about the holidays? Well, obviously you carve out time for the holidays. But I usually say, okay, December 20th until January 4th or something, like that's 14 days. I will focus on spending an hour or two on what needs to be done for each task. So we're going to go through these steps because, of course, here's my handy dandy notes, and this is why I have my phone, not because I need to keep track of anything or whatever. So step 1, I review prior year's goals and things that I wrote out on my 365 list that I may not accomplish. I write those down, or I review them, and then I list out, okay, like 2023, I think there was 21 items that I didn't accomplish in 2023. out of 365. So I wrote those 21 at the top of my list for 2025. So I review prior year and write things that you wish you would have accomplished that was on the 365-day list. And also reviewing 2020, the prior year, and kind of just reflecting on it. I write a letter of reflection to that prior year. And it's so nice to see like how well you've grown as an individual every year that you go back and you reread the prior year's letter and then read the new year letter. Like, it's just crazy. But that's what I do. Then step 2, I review previous year vision board, and then I start my new vision board. So I know a lot of people do the poster and then they get books and then they paint or glue the stuff on the books. I love that for you guys. It's not realistic for me. You 9 out of 10 are not going to go back and look at it. 2, it is so unorganized. I don't even know how people realistically follow it. But once again, I love that for you guys. It is not something that works for me. What works for me is on Google Slides. I have every year since I've been in college, and I go on the internet and I do exactly what you all do, except I don't have my magazines, and I search the things that I need. Usually it's on my Pinterest board, and I just screenshot, attach it in my Google Slides, and then I write little notes like, hey, I want to be generating this amount of revenue this year. I want my wife and I to go on this many trips this year. As a family, I want this many vacations. As a household, I want us to be bringing in this amount of money. I want to read this many books. And then I take screenshots of every book that I plan to read and attach that. I will try my best to attach a actual copy of a prior year's thing. I know one year it was I wanted to accomplish every Shaun T workout program in that one year through Beachbody because I was a Beachbody coach years ago. And I did it. I accomplished it. And I felt so proud of myself, but also it's just a way of accountability, and also it's on your phone. So like when you genuinely need a pick me up, you can always go back to your phone and just see like, okay, where am I at? What do I need to pick up? What do I need to do better? It's kind of like a reference check. So then I cross out everything on that vision board for my prior year. So 2024's vision board, we have crossed out everything that I've accomplished. The things that I have not accomplished, I also make that a priority for year 2025. So step 3, write out a list of 1 to 365. Yes, I know. I've asked you to do something that seems like it's going to take forever, and I promise you it doesn't. Explain in detail exactly what you want long term or short term. So these can be long term goals or short term goals. Long term goal for me years ago was I want a white peanut butter interior Audi Q5 or Q7. I got that. So obviously it was a long term goal when I wrote it, but I continuously wrote it until I achieved it. Some short term goals that I can say is like I want to have a healthy immune system the whole year. That is great. I want to have healthy, strong nails. Some harder ones, I want to travel to Dubai. I want to do an all inclusive. I want to go on a cruise. You will just list out 365 I wants for the whole year. The whole year. So for 2024, I said that I wanted to take our daughter on a trip for graduation. She could choose that trip. I told her it would be a 5-day paid trip, and she chose Orlando, and primarily she just wanted to go to Animal Kingdom. I was like, you sure? Like, we can go the whole park. Like, we can choose a park every single day. And she was like, no, I just want to do Animal Kingdom. And we accomplished that goal. My wife and I wanted to go to Chicago. We accomplished that goal. So I literally write out realistic things each day. I pretty much just write exactly what I want each year for 365 days. on this list. And it literally just starts with I want and whatever you are wanting for that year. Then, once you're done with that, you're going to go to step 4. Write out your plan for the next 12 months. So, you take those 365 days and you just say, okay, year or January, I'm going to focus on 75 hard. So let me back up. So 365 days, I may say, okay, I want to read 30 books. Okay, 30 books divided by 12 is something. And you take and you say, okay, well, this is how many books I want to say is like 2 or 3 books or 3.5 books. This is how many books I need to read per month to help me reach this goal. Okay, so then that's step 4. I also, so at the beginning of every month, January, I list out 1 through 35 because there's 30, I meant not 35, Lord Jesus, 1 through 31 days because there's 31 days. I list out and I write out what I hope. I hope that I have a happy 30th birthday. Yes, your girl's about to be 30 and we will be having a podcast all about my 30th. But yeah, I hope to have a beautiful 30th birthday. Happy birthday to me. And then my wife's birthday's in January. So I may have like certain things that I need a reminder for, but then I put a caption of what I'm dedicating this month for. If the month is dedicated to rediscovery, or if the month is dedicated to adventure, that's what I'm going to put at the top. And then 1 through 31, I'm literally going to list out key things that I know that are kind of important for me to pray about, manifest on, whatever it is. And then I look back at my 1 through 365 list and I'm like, okay, what can I pull from this list that I can accomplish in month 1 of 12? Hopefully I didn't lose you there, but if I did, you can always comment and I will walk you through anything you have. And then also I split out quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. I do not do those quarters until each quarter starts. So January 1 will be quarter 1 so it'll be January, February, March. And in 3 months, what are my goals are that I hope to accomplish. Crush, 75 hard. I want to have 40 new dance members to my dance company within the first quarter. I want to generate X amount of dollars within the first quarter. I want my relationship to be at a really happy place. I want to go on a date once a week. My, partner and I want to make sure that I spend one quality day a month with my daughter. I want to try to spend at least one weekend per quarter with each family. My family, my mom, my dad's side, and then my in-laws. Genuinely, generically, each quarter listing out things that are extremely important to you that you accomplish and get done. And then the final step 5, I kind of broke that down into step 4, so I apologize, but categorizing your goals. It is so important, and I feel like so many people get stuck in the setting of feeling like you have to lies. I'm still learning how to say that word, but split up all of your goals. When 365 listed out 365 goals is crazy. I know it is, but it works for me, and I promise you, if you do this right, it will work for you. But I also know that it's intense. I'm not even going to lie to you, but categorizing all your goals of what's personal, what's relationship, what's parental if you are a parent, what's family. And what I mean by family, I mean, if you have living grandparents, if you have your parents, your in-laws, what does that look like for the year for you? And then financial, obviously financial is just as important as all the others. I feel like that should be number 1 personally. But I do my personal finances and then I do my finances with my wife. And that is genuinely how I lay out my upcoming year. Obviously, you are going to have some twists and turns, some times that are crazy and you're not able to follow the plan to a T. But that's where grace comes in, honestly. And you can just say, okay, in this moment of truth, I don't have the bandwidth right now, or this quarter we did not meet our goals, and that's okay. But every successful company has goals they set, and they break it out from employee goals to executive leadership goals, board of directors goals, finance goals, and project budget goals. Every company does. So why not operate your life just as you operate a business, you know? And as I've shared and I'll continue to share, I personally feel that when I feel overwhelmed or not happy in a place, let me back up for a second. I personally feel that God gives us visions to know how we want our life to be. He gives us those visions, and then he gives us the pen and paper to say, you're the architect, you're the owner of your life. You now design that vision and how you plan to get there. Now, obviously, God is funny, and they like to throw in monkey wrenches at us. Very often, you can literally be towing along on one path, and then all of a sudden you see yourself drifting to another path, and but it gets you to the end goal, and that's all that matters. So I say all that to say, I genuinely feel that when I come to God with a plate full of, okay, this is my plan to see the goal that you have for me, or to see the life that you've designed for me. This is the plan of how I plan to get there. And he throw twists and turns in there. It doesn't steer me off my course. It just gives me a little bit of redirection, and then I regroup and I'm like, okay, instead of that being accomplished in February, it may get accomplished in April or May, but it's still going to get accomplished. So please don't get discouraged. Like I said, if anyone has questions about this, I'll be more than happy to walk you through it one on one. It was a lot for me to grasp, and I'm going to tell you, I did not start all these things in 1 year. This has literally been a gradual. I'm going to do the vision board 1 year, then I'm going to do the vision board, and each month write out things, and then I'm going to do the vision board, write out things in 365 days, and break it out per category. It's taking some time, but I really hope that this helps. I really can't wait to share with you all what 2025 has in store for me. I can't wait to honestly gain feedback from you all to see how 2025 treats you all. I feel like just yesterday we were in 2015, and I was preparing to start interning because I had 2 years left of college, and now I have a couple days before I'm 30. I just say all that to say thank you all for listening in. Thank you for being here. I really genuinely hope that this year is just full of opportunities and full of you all discovering exactly what God has in store for each and every one of you, and for you all tuning in to your true authentic selves to be the best version of yourself. And until we meet again, I hope you all remember that you are loved, and thank you guys for joining. Bye.